everyone, and welcome back to the Dice Tower. I'm Camilla.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And today we're going to be looking at an expansion to In the Footsteps of Darwin. This is going to be called Correspondence. So this is an expansion. You do have to have the original base game to play, but it's going to change the mechanisms, not quite a bit, but bring a little extra flair to it. So let's check out how it plays, and then we'll let you know what we think.
In the expansion, you're going to get this sideboard over here. You're going to get a stack of new animal tiles, some new characters, and these envelopes, a new score board, and then some tokens that ended up in this bag over here. We've also set some new tiles over here instead of the ones that normally sit on this location on the main board, which is this from the core box, and they're always worth 5 victory points. Now there's some variety there. So you shuffle in all the animals and you take all of the people from the original game, you pull them out and you shuffle them with the new characters, and you make 2 stacks of 5 over here. And then also there should be a stack of 3 animals on each of these 2 spots. And you're ready to go. The game's going to play the exact same way with a couple of small tweaks and differences. Now, whenever you acquire the crown, instead of taking this token from wherever it is and putting it in front of you, and it's scoring 2 points at the end of the game, it begins the game right here. And when you take an animal with a crown, like this hippo right here, then you simply move this to the next spot. It's going to move in this order like this. And when you move it somewhere, you get the benefit there, okay? So if it's one of these benefits that you see there, you are going to reach in the bag and you are going to take a token that shows you a category, okay? And so on your player board, which should look something like that, you are going to put this token on that spot. Now, if you already have an animal there, or you get one later, then you flip this over, and it's worth 2 victory points. And that's a new way to get victory points, and that's you get that from here and from here. If you land in one of the places that has these letters, the correspondence, then you get 1 or 2 up here. And you can spend these, you can spend 2 or you can spend 3 to grab one of these 2 characters or one of these animals, respectively, and add that to your player board, and you have access to that. Those are the big new concepts in the game. Besides that, then we've also got this area over here, which the new bonus being in the original game. Put that there. In the original game, when you completed a column or a row, you would get one of these tokens. They're always worth 5 victory points. Now, if you are the first one to complete, say, Africa, then you get this token, which is worth 4 victory points, but you get the crown. Or maybe it'll be, the first one to do the reptiles gets 5, but also a piece of correspondence. Maybe it just will be 7 victory points, no other bonus. But once this is gone, of course, if anybody else completes the Africa one, then they just get a 5-pointer one. They don't get any special bonus for it. And that's pretty much what the new expansion introduces. So that should give you an idea of how it works.
All right, so the big change here is going to be the crown symbol. On the tiles that you draft and what that does.
That's right.
Before, it was just this hot potato back and forth. Whoever ends with it gets some endgame points.
Right.
Now, on this second board, like you saw, it's going to have this little kind of almost rondelle that you're going to go through.
Yeah,
right?
And there's sort of like opportune or more opportune times to take it, where like if you know the next step over gets you a character or whatever, then that you might be on the lookout for the crown now, as opposed to the steps that aren't as interesting.
Right.
I love that. It adds a nice ebb and flow to the timing of things. And I think the timing has really taken a nice step up in this game, whereas before the game hummed along at a nice pace, at a nice clip, it worked really well. There's now, it's not more gamery really. I don't think it did that. Like it streamlined some things, in fact, to almost make them easier, but it makes the timing of various activities and abilities more engaging. Yeah. I want to be not just the one that gets all of this continent, but the first to get all of that continent.
Right.
And if it did get taken, maybe I pivot and try to do this line first instead,
Right, absolutely. And I think it's done in a very sleek way.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like an expansion when you're playing it.
Right.
And so I really like that timing element, like you said. It has that little bit of a pressure to it, but I like the variability in it as well. As you're moving that guy around and you're getting these correspondence tiles, I guess, the little letters, right?
Yeah.
You have 2 ways you can spend them. You can now that's how you're going to get the people that you're drafting over there. They're no longer going to be the thing. Or you can wait and save up and get that one tile that you can see is available up there. If you need that yellow bear tile or large animal, whatever it's called thematically, if you need that, you see it there and you can work towards that. So I really like that. So while it has its own tension and timing element, it's also giving you another opportunity to get those things outside of the base grid.
Yeah.
Which allows you to plan ahead a little bit, but also puts a little bit of pressure on the players because maybe everyone is going for that one really, really good person that works in their strategy. Yeah. I like that a whole lot.
Yeah, I actually like that it took the people out of the grid.
Yeah.
And made them their own stacks off to the side that you need to correspond with to convince them to come help you. I think thematically the game suddenly takes a jump up, and I think the explanation is easier if I don't have to mix two very distinct kind of tiles and explain to you, well, when you take a person, it doesn't actually go into your grid. It goes over here on the side. The things they do are a little bit different than these creatures you're discovering. Take all of that. Put it aside, explain it on its own in its own area and its own way to get it. In that way, it reminds me a little bit of the Jamaica expansion that took some abilities that used to be mixed with other kinds of abilities and went, you know what, we're pulling all of this out and sticking it over here in this side thing going on. I really like that.
Almost kind of compartmentalizes it a little bit. You want to do this strategy, here's where you do it now. Instead of having this feeling of you have to do a little bit of everything. I really think the other thing thematically that it kind of brings to the surface here is this exploration of if you're the first to complete a column or a row, like you said, you have that little extra boon. And so instead of it just being equal across the board, you do feel like you get that one step up, which allows you to further strategize.
Right.
You can see out there, again, I'll keep using the yellow bear, as the example, if you see the yellow bear out there is going to give you 2 letters or whatever that tile specifically has, then you're like, okay, I'm set up good to go into that. I'm going to go into the yellow column and try to get that over there and be the first, which is going to set your strategy. So I really think that in offering such a streamlined expansion here and kind of what you were saying, compartmentalizing these different things, that allows you to build a strategy without feeling like so isolating that everyone's playing their own game. It's still super interactive and almost increased that racing element. It just separated them out.
Well, it does not feel like a game it does not feel like it took the game from a very simple family weight game, really super straightforward, and dialed it up too much to push it out of some people's comfort zone. I truly don't think anyone who's played this game is going to have any kind of trouble with this expansion. And I can't say that for, honestly, that many expansions. I think a lot of expansions do, especially when they add mechanisms, and it's not just more of the same, they do kind of push you out onto the playing field, maybe outside of your comfort zone with that game. Yeah. I did not find that to be true here. It feels elegant. It feels thematic. It makes you now, playing with the expansion, you look back and question things from the original game. Why were all the bonuses 5 points full stop? That's boring.
Yeah.
Why was the crown a couple of points or 4 points or whatever full stop? That's all it did. That's kind of boring.
Why would I go into that early game if it's just going to hot potato anyway?
It's
Why do that? Yeah.
I love that. I love that it challenges some of those concepts and makes you intrigued. It makes gives you something now to go for, to hope for earlier in the game.
Absolutely. I definitely feel like this is the expansion that nobody asked for, but I'm so glad we have. I never thought this game, I thought it was very elegant in its simplicity. It's like you said, a family weight game or a lightweight game that I would enjoy playing. This expansion elevates it in a way that I didn't ask for. Yeah. But I'm so glad I have, and it fits very streamlined into it. So for that, just my final thoughts here. I'm going to come down to a 9 because I think that this expansion is so almost core to this game now.
I agree.
It feels like the game this is what it was missing that I didn't know it was missing because I didn't even miss anything. I was enjoying it. I liked the game before. But man, does this just make it much more interesting without changing its target audience, like what you were saying. I can still teach it out of the box. I'm just going to mix it in and not tell anyone it has an expansion in it. And they're never going to know.
I agree.
And I think that is absolutely essential and fantastic in an expansion. So for me, it's a 9.
Yeah, essential is right. I'm coming down at a 9 as well because I would not be surprised if the 10th anniversary edition of In the Footsteps of Darwin folds this in, does not mention it's an expansion. I really wouldn't. This is fantastic. This is so logical. This feels great shuffled in. There is no clutchiness. There is nothing here that doesn't quite line up. It's a very good expansion. So yeah, I agree. It's a very, very good package. The only thing I bring it down from like a 10 to a 9 is because, you have to go out and buy this.
Right.
This isn't in the game, okay? It is not... It's if this was part of the game, then I would just give the whole game a 9. And I agree that this raised my score for the game when you mix it in. Mix it in and forget about it, and you are set. Same audience can play. There's more interest. There's more of the good stuff you want. So 9 from me as well.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. A seal of excellence from both of us here at the Dice Tower. This is In the Footsteps of Darwin, the Correspondence expansion. Check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Until next time, I'm Camilla.
I'm Zee.
And we'll see ya.
Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video, and we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell, and I hope you enjoyed this video.